All right. So we are going to quickly talk about virtual meetings. I know you guys have the experience. So what are the best practices when you're in virtual meetings? So let's start talk about the things that we know, right? Let's start learning from each other. So if you miss anything, I'll cover it. Start somewhere.
Avoiding crosstalks and to let one person talk.
Okay, yeah, that's good. And how do we do that, like practically?
So automatically, if one person is having a point to state, so the rest of them, it's better to like mute themselves or just refrain from talking.
Yeah, there are some conversations that you can like mute others, but there are some conversations you cannot. You think that they are responsibility to mute themselves. In those cases, you can have a facilitator. Two roles, presenter and a facilitator, right? And the facilitator can kind of like chime in, or they can like personally message the other person, or set the expectations at the beginning. Regardless of the crowd. Hey, if there's any noise, I'm going to mute. Please don't mind it. Something like that, right? Good point. What else?
You should give us time, because if it's a virtual meeting, then people may be having a hard time finding you through internet. So you should remember the time. But on the other hand, if you're the organizer, you should send a reminder to let them know the exact time that the meeting is going to run.
That's good. And then also, it's good to click the link like few minutes before, because you can have technical issues. These Zoom is updating, MS Team is updating sometimes, right? And your computer shut down, then you might miss a really good meeting. Yeah.
And you might the audio issues.
Yes, exactly.
Have good internet connection, because phone hotspot is just very weak.
Right.
Like a stable internet.
Yeah, and that's become like a common reason in my opinion. Like when I used to work, so if somebody was like doing some personal errands or something, they'd say no, I'm not getting internet, it's not connecting. That was like so everyone went on to believe it. So I think good internet connection.
Right. So if that meeting is important to you, right, and then also if your presence is important, make sure at least you have a backup connection. That's a good point. What else?
I was quiet and interruption-free environment.
Right. That's good. And then one of the good things is you have these headsets now, right? Cut down the noise. So that's really helpful.
Also try to keep your camera on, because most of the people would be doing something else and just listening. So it helps you to have a face to face. You get to see the tone and the expressions, you understand better.
Right. So if you are a team lead, or if you have some power to enforce something like that, try to find a nicer way to do that, right? You cannot, like in most organizations, you cannot require people to do that, but you have to find that people willingly do that. That's the strategy you need to look for. I mean, it's good to have the video, but you cannot require them. But it's good for everybody, for the outcome, right? Because you see the facial expressions, and then yes, as you said, some people may be doing multitasking, right? It's a bad habit. So it's always good to have the video. I agree. What else?
Frequent interaction with the audience. So adding on to her point, if you're not interacting, they just become mute. They're doing something on their own. So frequently, like, guys, are we all on the same page or something like that can help keep everybody.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. So asking a question, right? So that way they know you have to pay attention.
Stay in a quiet place.
Yes. What else?
Make sure you have a proper mic, because a lot of the times during this meeting, like I won't be able to know, but my audience might be able to tell. Like there's a feedback, like between the mic and the speaker.
Yeah,
I won't.
Can't believe believe me, it happens even very important meetings. Like Elon Musk had the issue, right? He was in the border. Remember, he was trying to stream from the border to his tool itself. From his X, not the XX, right? Twitter. But he failed. It was not working. Weird name, right? How do you say that now? You say, okay, I tweet. Now you can say I'm Xing. Where's my X? You can say where's my tweet, right? You can say where's my X. And then I think in one of the earning calls, same thing happened to him recently. Elon Musk, he was in the quarterly earnings call. Part of his speech was like muted, and other people didn't hear. Even it impacted the stock price.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So make sure those things are.
And there is a way to test it. You're in Teams or.
I think it happened something intermittently. At the beginning, it was working. Probably a network issue. And then other thing is, when you're, putting the camera on, make sure that you are nicely visual, right? Don't like look this way. It's seeing your nostrils, right? Some people do that, without paying attention. Okay, and yeah, and then don't get too close, right? Sometimes without knowing, because you are so passionate about the topic, you say, okay, I'm going to go and get them, right? But don't go to the screen like that, and don't go too far either. And then also when you are working with multiple screens, right? Again, people get distracted because you are looking this way and talking. People are in the other monitor, so you have to find a way to cover. At least tell them, okay, I'm looking at the other monitor. Excuse me, so people know.
One more thing is you close your unwanted tabs because if
Yes.
you're sharing your screen.
Yes.
This happened with me. So there was one developer working with me, and I got to know that he's looking for other jobs because I could see his
Oh,
it was
very
something he
good.
didn't realize. So
Yeah, that's good point. You're good to instead of sharing the whole screen,
Yeah,
just share the window, that you want to share.
Or best to clear web pages and
Right.
just keep what's.
And then pop-ups, right? Control the pop-ups, messages coming, all these things. And then I think I told in one of the previous classes about emails, right? So it's, careful when forwarding emails and replying all. And then make sure, you have a good agenda. That's common for any meeting, right? But virtual meetings is more important because people are scattered, right? So you need to get their focus. If you want to give some form work, like preparation work before the meeting, give it to them. Make sure you are, clearly communicating the takeaway, what you want to take away and what they are supposed to take away in the meeting. So that way, another way to engage them.